Today, we're going to talk about 3 action steps that you can take as a career woman to get out of that toxic job. Are you stuck and you're feeling overwhelmed, drained, frustrated? You're not alone. And more than likely, it's not you, it's probably your environment. But today, we're going to talk about 3 steps that you can take immediately, right now and today, to get out of that toxic work environment. And it's going to be good. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around to the end because I will be sharing something that's going to benefit everyone. And I'm excited to do that. On this channel, what we do here is we have a community of career minded women that want to grow their career, but understand that they want to grow it with ease. Understanding that the workforce, the corporate world can be very challenging, can be overwhelming, and many times unfriendly, especially to women. But here on this channel, what we do is we create a community, a culture that loves on one another, that cares about one another, that shares resources, tips, tricks, and the hints that helps that corporate journey so that you can stay in it and you can thrive in corporate with ease. That's what I want to do. I want to make it easy for you. I want to ensure that you're able to get everything that you need in the corporate world with ease without being drained and strained and frustrated and honestly sometimes just feeling almost manipulated. And we want to take that away from you. So I'm glad you're here. If I didn't introduce myself, I am Coach Vet Jet, and I am a leadership coach. I am the coach for career driven women. I've spent years honing this craft just for women like yourself. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found me. I'm glad they brought you my way. So let's hop right into it. I do have some notes because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So the three strategies that we're going to get into that will help you get out of a toxic work environment, right? First of all, understand that when you're in a toxic work environment, when you're in a toxic organization, it can seem like it's your fault. It can seem like it's just you. But I want to be very clear to all women out there. There are so many women that are suffering in a toxic work environment. You are not by yourself. You are not alone. And sis, I know you feel like, oh my goodness, like you're just on an island by yourself. But when I tell you there's so many women that are struggling with the same thing you're struggling. And hopefully, my dream would be that we can stop struggling as women in the corporate world and truly teach people, right, how to treat people in the workplace because you spend most of your time there, right? And it's the way you make your living, make your livelihood for your family, whether you're a single mom or whether you're a mom with a family and your income is needed for the household, right? You shouldn't have to be in an environment that truly does not align with your values or who you are. So, first thing, the first strategy in getting out of a toxic work environment is honestly doing the work while you're there. And when I say the work, doing the work while you're there, it's starting a mindfulness and meditation practice. When you have mindfulness, right, you become aware of who you are, you become centered and grounded in what's for you and what's not for you. Because in mindfulness is when you truly can see what is going on in a given situation. Sometimes when we're not mindful of what's going on or what's happening in our environment, we get caught up in the chaos. Mindfulness will help you get out of the chaos. It will help you take that break in place, right? I never forget, we're in the military. We used to do ruck marches, and on the ruck march, you get so tired. You're carrying a 50-pound rucksack. You have your boots on. You have long BDUs. I don't know if they call them BDUs anymore, but you have your long BDUs on, top and bottom, right? And you have your pants bloused, and it's very hot. Then you have on the undershirt. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. And I never forget, along the way during the ruck march, they would let us break in place that we couldn't get out or escape from this situation, but we could break right where we are along the path, along the journey, along the ruck march. Because the truth is, you may not be able to quit today, even though you want to, even though you open up your computer and you're just ready to like hit the delete button and send them back their equipment. But you can't do that, right? If we're just being realistic about the situation, a lot of our lives aren't set up for that type of drastic decision. So you have to decide, how are you going to break in place as you're going along the journey, right? And I think of it just like a soldier. Sometimes you put down that heavy sack that you're carrying on your back, which is the emotions, which is the frustration, which is the anger, which is the disappointment, which is the hurt that the toxic job and workplace is really putting on your back. And you put that down right where you are. So you can't quit today. You might not even be able to quit tomorrow, but we'll get to that way so you can truly slowly quit. And so break in place, having a mindfulness practice, planting your feet firmly on the ground. I know for me, at the beginning of my day, I light a candle. It just signifies the beginning of the day. And by the end of the day, I blow it out. Taking time for deep breaths, taking time to hear your inner self speak, to hear your heart. Sometimes we don't even hear our hearts. Taking time just to slow it down just a little bit so you can get through the journey. And then finding a meditation practice. Meditating is so powerful that it truly helps you center yourself, helps you become focused, helps you become still. Studies have shown that people that meditate are able to have a clearer head and are more effective because they meditate. I know one thing I love meditation, and I love guided meditation. And I've downloaded a playlist that I really listen to almost daily to help me center my thoughts and center my mind. And I can't think of the person. I'm gonna post it in the description. Um, this mindfulness practice. Stephanie Perry actually told me on one of her videos, she discussed this. I want to say Tony, I can't think of her name. Let me see if I could pull it up for us really quickly while I do this. But the meditation practice is what's going to help you and help your mind be centered and focused so that you can be able to go through the day and that you don't lose yourself in the fray, right? Because sometimes the fray, the shrapnel of what's going on, after everything kind of blows up and becomes chaotic, what's left over is the shrapnel, is the thing that is the fragments. And that's what you don't want to be. You don't want to become the fragments of what you used to be. Because truth be told, you're an awesome woman, and you're a powerful woman, and you have gifts, talents, and abilities that should be shared with the world. Um, and you should not have to compromise those gifts, those talents, and abilities for the world just because they don't know how to be. So also just remember that sometimes, in a lot of ways, what you're encountering when you dealing with toxic people is you're encountering unhealed people, people that don't know how to center themselves, don't know how to focus. Some people like chaos. Some people just like turmoil, like, and disease, and they like to create situations and circumstances that don't really grow you as a person, and they don't know how to grow themselves. So how would they know how to interact with someone like you, right? A woman that may be different from them, maybe in a different role. So just know that mindfulness and meditation will help center you, will help guide your thoughts, will put you on the right path of focus, of focus on yourself, dedicating your time to who you are, and ensuring that as you go through this, as you go through the journey and navigating to a more healthy environment, that it's critical that you center yourself, that you stay calm. I never forget, I had a situation years ago where I was leading a group of people and it was chaotic. What was going on in the organization at the time was just unbelievable, right? Just catastrophic. And I never forget, my leader called me and he said, Yvette, are you okay? I said, yes. Why? He's like, you just seem really, really calm right now. I said, I learned years ago when I was in the military, I was a gunner on the 50 cal machine gun. And I said, I learned then how to stay calm under the worst circumstances. Because if I lose my mind, I can't think. And if I can't think, then I can't help. And if I can't help, I can't serve those that need me the most. I said, so what I've learned years ago was how to calm myself down, even though there's chaos going around. Um, there is a saying that in the eye of the storm, there is safety. Is where in the eye of the storm is where it's safest. And so that's what I've learned to do is be centered, be still, and be calm. Because I'm not going to be like the chaos around me. So that's what meditation will do for you. That's what mindfulness will do for you. And I recommend this practice as part of mindfulness is really taking your socks off, taking your shoes off, planting your feet on the floor. And what you'll feel underneath your feet, the soles of your feet, you'll feel a tingle. You'll feel the energy of the ground that will just resonate through your whole body, through your whole being, through your whole soul, that will really calm you down. I also recommend, as part of the meditation practice, the mindfulness practice, is prayer. Prayer changes things. I was speaking with one of my colleagues, and they also have a practice, and they do coaching, there's some program management coaching, and developing their practice of their practitioners and things of that nature. And what they said to me was phenomenal. They said, be specific, very specific in your prayer. Call out exactly what you want. If you're in a toxic work environment, calling out those people by name that are causing you the toxic environment, that are causing the situation to permeate, call them out by name. Call them out, call them forth so God can handle them in the best and strongest way possible. Don't let them overtake you. And that's what mindfulness will do. That prayer will center you. The Bible says that you have not because you ask not. That if you seek, you shall find. That if you knock, the door will be open. So I encourage you, sis, to knock and it will be given. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. And that the law of attraction is real. I've been reading again the book called The Secret. And of course, I don't believe it's a secret, but it's a lot of practices that we don't put into play. And the secret is really just a faith walk with God and asking God to show up in a powerful way and setting your intention on what you want and what you need for Him to do for you. And He'll do it. He'll do it. So, mindfulness, right? Meditation. Part of meditation can be prayer and being present in the moment so that God can hear and answer your prayer and deliver what you need and what you want. And then my second thing is I have my notes because I didn't want to forget this because I know I get off on a tangent. But start researching. So, from a strategy perspective of how do we move you into that job? So, we dealt with the mind, we dealt with the spirit, we dealt with prayer. But the Bible also says that faith without works is dead. So, ladies, we're going to have to do some work. We're going to have to do some work. We're going to have to do some work. And so, what that work looks like is really updating your resume, updating your LinkedIn profile, ensuring that your LinkedIn profile really truly represents and calls out exactly who you are, your skills, your talents, and ability. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there as the professional that you are, putting yourself out there as the expert. Again, military reference. They have the NCO Creed. I am an expert and I am a professional. Call that out. You have, I know, I know that you have those degrees. I know that you have those certification. Call it out. I know you have that experience. I know that you did that gig work. I know that you did that project that they didn't give you credit for, and that they someone tried to probably steal the credit for. I know you have that experience. Call that out. Those are your skills, those are your experiences, those are your achievements. Call that out. It's important. I never forget. I was at an organization. I did a stretch assignment, and it's kind of like your gig work. Another word for gig work, or a temporary assignment. And I did that, and I learned so much in that role. You don't think I put that on my resume? I did. And so should you. So put that on your resume. I want you to truly build and refresh your resume. And another good thing, when you're really updating your resume, do not forget volunteer work. Do not forget volunteer work. Volunteer work is just as relevant as anything else. And if you say, well, Vet, I don't have any other skills right now and I've been kind of stagnant, what you can do is you can ensure that you volunteer. Go volunteer with your local organization, go volunteer in your community, and build up that experience, build up that time, build up that muscle. So I'm just going to call out a few great organizations. I used to be the president of Toastmasters. Hence, I love to speak. When I was really wanting to redirect my career at the time, I got into Toastmasters and I dug deep into it because I knew that it was going to give me more and more skills, and it was going to put me in that mode of sharpening my skills. Because at the time, I was in a very toxic environment where the manager didn't have the strength or the courage to speak up and not have the other person be the bully in the department because they had the most knowledge. So yeah, you're probably dealing with some of that bullying, that those microaggression, the passive aggressiveness, the undercutting, just cutting off, being condescending, and of course blaming you for it. Yes, it happens. That's the toxic work environment. That's the toxicity that we're talking about. Them pretending like they don't know how to do their job when they just kind of want to see you fail. It's toxic. It's textbook. Like I tell my students, it's textbook. They wrote books about that. So don't don't think it's new. Don't think they're doing something different that hasn't already been done before. That story's already been written, but I digress. So get in organizations like Toastmasters, and you can truly get positions like as the secretary, the vice president over education. So there's so many ways you can get and do and be and grow your skills, right? And then the second thing, I used to love, and I still love it, volunteering with the Mission Continues and Wounded Warrior Project. I love veterans. You hear me talk about being a veteran all the time. I love veteran. I love veteran organizations, and that's a great way to be in those opportunities, in those situations, so that you can be able to hone your leadership, hone your abilities, and really grow your skills and talent. Because I want to say pre-COVID, I don't know if they still do it. They have cohorts. They have, if you once you get into the leadership position, I know with both organizations, Wounded Warrior Project and the Mission Continues, they send you off to different trainings. So get a part of these organizations. There's so many volunteer organizations that need help and need support. And that's a great way you can like build your resume on the weekend. And so build your resume on the weekend as you're transitioning into what your next step is. Another thing you can do is LinkedIn has courses you can take. Take courses on LinkedIn, take courses on Coursera, take courses on Udemy. A lot of organizations are looking at skills. When you're up leveling your skills and you're upskilling yourself, they count that toward promotions. A lot of organizations are going toward that. So check into that, dig into that. And if you don't even want to tell your current organization, just do it for yourself to build your resume. And then the final one is start searching for companies that align with your values. And I think this is so important. I don't think I don't even think I looked at organizations from a value based perspective in my younger days because no one really talks about values, the values that are important to you. So, really sit down and really reflect on what is important that an organization has. What do you want an organization to be? What do you want an organization to be for you? Do you value mental health? Do you value time off? Do you value spending time with your family? Do you value a culture that is inclusive, right? Do you value an organization that has women-based leaders, right? Do you value an organization that has upward mobility? So what do you value? I never forget one of the organizations that I loved, right? That I truly loved. They truly were a remote first workforce. Say that 3 times fast. They truly believed in remote first work. And I value that, right? Because with the kiddos, with just time, just knowing that I'm an introvert, being an introvert in an environment that makes you forward facing all day, every day, was draining for me, which has led to me being around, I don't like being around toxic people. So having a remote first workforce helps to maintain my emotional and mental stability. And honestly, I'm more productive. So for a person like me, remote first is the most important thing before anything else. Then, of course, I would say would be ethics, right? Finding a place that's ethical, that won't let their leaders be unethical. And then, third, I would say that has leadership growth potential. So, think about that for you. What do you know that is a must have for you? Do you like travel? When I was a flight attendant, of course, I wanted a company that had travel. Back then, of course, I probably would have went with a larger carrier than I did at the time, just because I probably would have wanted to travel more internationally. But being a flight attendant, say you are a flight attendant or you want to be a flight attendant, what's most important to you? Do you only want to go regionally? Do you only want maybe Caribbean? What do you value, right? So think about that for your particular situation, your particular scenario. What is most important to you? And once you figure that out, right, you can know where to apply and what means the most. Is it important that you have money or 6 figures? Look at jobs that have 6 figures, right? Because you want to be in the right place with the right people at the right time so that you can be the best you that you deserve. And before anyone else deserves you, you deserve yourself. You deserve to have it all. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to thrive. You deserve it, right? So just keep that in mind so that you're not in a place that's not designed for you. Because the worst thing that could happen is that you're in a place that's not designed for you. You're in a place that doesn't showcase your talents. And then, of course, you feel bad because you feel like you're out of place, out of alignment, and it's not where you should be. So just consider that as you get out of that toxic work environment. And so this is a bonus. The bonus is you don't have to stay there. And do not get comfortable with a toxic workplace. Don't get comfortable with a toxic work environment. It's not normal and you don't deserve it. You deserve a lot better for yourself. You deserve a lot better for your family. And the world deserves to see you as truly who you are because you're called to greatness. You're called to greatness. I was talking with one of my deans, 'cause I'm a professor as well, and no, it was my evaluator, not my dean. I was talking to my evaluator, and we were discussing the evaluation I was having with my class. And it was great, by the way. So that was a lot of fun. But what she said was, Esther was raised up for such a time as this. They were going through so much, they were going through perils and turmoil. But God had Esther in the right position for such a time as this. And when I tell you, you are here, you are in this world for such a time as this. And it doesn't matter what those toxic people are doing in your workplace. You are not designed for that. You are designed for so much more. And don't let anyone fool you. Don't let them fool you into thinking that that's all there is in the world, that their place is the only place. It's not. It's not. God has a great place for you, even if it's not that place. So don't get overwhelmed. And yes, and that's another bonus. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed by what's going on. It's only for a little while. I never forget. I have a lot of references tonight. A pastor preached a sermon, now and for a little while, only if need be. Now and for a little while, only if need be. So you may be there now, but only for a little while, and only if need be. Your greatness, your great day is coming. Just know that. Trust and believe that. So I've enjoyed spending this time with you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Vet Jet Show, where we help women, where we help women find their career, navigate their path, and navigate it with greatness, with love, and in a community that brings everybody together. So I want to invite you. I want to invite you, right, to be a part of my program. I have a wonderful coaching program, a wonderful program that helps you navigate through your career, next helps you navigate through your next level, helps you navigate to the right path, right? So that you can have the fulfillment that you deserve. And so I'll post the link to the program in the chat, and you're going to want to join. You're going to want to join the program. I also do one-on-one coachings. I have a few slots left for the end of the year. And why not start the year off right? Why not start the year off right? Let's end this year and start it off right. And get in the coaching program now. Get in the coaching program today so that you can be able to be ready for what's to come in the future. And so that you can get out of that toxic work environment and into something that's better for you. So yeah, I would love to have you there. And like I said, I'll drop the link in the description so that you can be a part of that. And if you just want to head to my website, vetjet.com, vettjet.com, vetjet.com, all one word. I would love to talk with you. See if this is the right fit for you. But what I want to do is I'll tell you what we went over. The three action steps that you can take to get out of the toxic work environment. One, start with practicing mindfulness and meditation. And of course, I add in prayer. Then update your resume and update your LinkedIn profile. Get those things. Always have your resume ready to go. Do not be stuck at the last minute without a really good resume. And then, of course, start researching companies that align with your values. Get a company, get with an organization that has the same values you do, so you guys can align in the right pathway. And you'll be so glad you did. Oh my gosh. So if this was good for you, if this was helpful to you, make sure that you share this with another woman that is along the journey, that is along her career path, that wants more and better. And do me a favor, subscribe and like this video. And honestly, follow me on my YouTube channel. I have so many other videos there that will help you. And things I do videos on things I wish I knew, right? Things that I wish I knew now. I also have one of my latest videos is with teacher Jade, and she talks about how she took what she did as a teacher and turned it into a six-figure salary. A teacher turning her skills into a six-figure salary. So I'll post that description in the link below as well. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you that your skills are phenomenal. Don't let anyone tell you different. So, ladies, you have a good one. Go find that job that's right for you. So, I may do another video that talks about some job boards that have been helpful to so many women, finding new ways of working, finding flexible working. And I'm going to do another video about a particular position that all women should be aware of because it could be your next six-figure move. So maybe we'll do that next week. Is your six-figure move into another career that could truly transform your life, transform who you are as a woman. All right, ladies, you have a great day. Have a great day. And this is Coach Vet Jet, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for joining.